We've got you covered all season long. Welcome to the BCSN Nation podcast, powered by Buffalo Wild Wings.
All right, here it is. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 38 of the BCSN Nation podcast, powered by Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go, sports bar. We're here for the softball season finale. Brandon Carnes here, Justin Feldkamp. And you know it's softball edition because Alyssa and Sarah's sitting down there at the left end of the table. Welcome in for the finale. This is your chance, as we get to some more lists that you're going to give us later, to give a final shout out to somebody preferably not on your first team All-BCSN list. Plot twist, we're doing first team All-BCSN today. We'll start with Alyssa, your shout out to coach, player, team, whoever.
I'd like to give a shout out to Start. I've kind of said it, I feel like, this whole season, but I'm very impressed with how they overcome adversity and just the dig in and the persistence from the entire team. They struggled a lot this year, just getting games in and having the opportunities to kind of get in the groove, but they were able to persevere, and there was moments of light, and I think that they are going to be the team to watch out for next season, and guess I'll put them in as my favorite to win the conference next year.
I'll start making the graphic for next season already. For now, Justin, you're up.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put a blanket over this, Brandon, because I know the grind that it takes to get from the starting point to the end point.
Sure.
And in some cases, don't get me wrong, it's difficult to get to state. It's difficult to win league and division championships, district titles, regional titles, and get to state. But it's also a grind, and it is difficult when you are, building a program, or you got more losses than wins, and it's a struggle each and every time, and you're searching for those wins, and you're getting close, but you're still coming up short, whether you don't have enough pitching or you're coming up bases loaded situation where you need a clutch hit and you don't get it, and you get a pop up to second base type of deal. So all those coaches out there, all those players, keep in mind, it's not necessarily always about the destination. It's about the journey and the building blocks and all the good things that it gives you individually, gives you collaboratively as a team, as a parent group, as a community to get to where you eventually want to go. But if you don't taste that success of victory every time or each season, that doesn't mean it's a failure.
I'm leaving the diamond for my shout out. I'm going to 𝗦𝗽elle King from Central Catholic.
There you go.
3 state championships this past weekend in the 100, 200, 400. That's 3 in one weekend. 10 state championships in her high school track career. Insane for 𝗦𝗽elle King. Shout out to 𝗦𝗽elle King, Central Catholic Track and Field. We got our clip of the week coming up, of course, our game of the week recap edition, and then we'll get to Alyssa and Justin's first team All-BCSNs. We put a little bow on the end of this softball season. You want to make sure you're here next week for the final episode of the podcast for Season 3. And, of course, 4 p.m. BCSN, or anywhere you get your audio mediums, or bcsnnation.com/podcast if you don't want to miss anything until then, including some games that we'll talk about on the baseball side of things. Make sure you follow at BCSN Sports on all of our social media pages. But for now, we're going to take one last look back, one extra bow to put around the 2024-2025 sports seasons with BCSN honors. And we'll start with some of your winners. Coach of the Year, Josh Linke from St. Francis. Kate Simmons wins our breakthrough performance, state champion wrestler for Findlay. Bowser Football, their Game of the Year win over Waite, gets our Game of the Year. Elise Bender, female athlete. Marcus Blaze, male athletes of the year. And then Team of the Year, Anthony Wayne girls basketball. A tremendous event. Always a great time to welcome in some of the best of Northwest Ohio, celebrate them, even being nominated and being in the room with an insane cast, right, this year, Justin, of so many nominees. And 𝗦𝗽elle King, 10 state championships, just loses out to Elise Bender. Victoria Gray doesn't get, the list is insane of people we had to nominate, and it was tough choices.
Oh, 100%. I mentioned that to the audience before we even began live at 2 o'clock on Sunday, and some years it's easier than others to pick the winners.
Sure.
No offense to any other athletes on the male athlete side, but Marcus Blaze is the number one recruit, not in Northwest Ohio, not in the region, not in the state, not in the Midwest, in the entire country. So he was getting an award at the national level this past weekend and coinciding with our BCSN Honors event. So it was a little bit of a quote-unquote easier decision, a 4-time state champ going to Penn State, who's won at the global level.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier to pick him. But The female athlete of the year, it was 5 Division I kids, 4 of those Division I Power 4, Power 5 conference destinations for them. Variety of sports as well. That's what I love about BCSN Honors.
Yeah.
We do a really good job of spreading the wealth. It's just not all football, basketball. We showcase anybody, divers, wrestlers, track and field, bowlers. We check a lot of different boxes each and every year to give people a full spectrum of what we offer at BCSN and what this community has to offer sports-wise. But yeah, it was splitting hairs with Elise Bender, Victoria Gray, Nyla King, Grace Spenhoff, on down the list.
Allie Peckham, yeah.
Allie Peckham, just so many different choices.
Yeah, anything? I know you didn't get to attend, but
yeah,
shoot.
I think 𝗦𝗫cie 𝗿𝘁𝘀, to your point, going to Penn State, absolutely impressive. That's a winning program. They're essentially the new Iowa, I would say.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would say, yeah, easy pick there. As far as female athlete of the year, no shortage of impressive female athletes. I mean, you look at the softball teams alone and who we've covered this season. I mean, Haley Griggs, Gatorade Player of the Year. Are you kidding me?
As well, yep.
Like Molly Connor, the same. Like, I don't know. I think it is a testament to the athletic strength of Northwest Ohio, Southeast Michigan, and I think that is something everyone out here should be really proud of.
And
100%.
that's not even the list of coaches that we had nominated, right? The state champions, state runners-up. Insane. We thank you guys all for being a part of it, for being there Sunday. If you want to watch it back, it's over on BCSN Plus app on demand so you don't miss who brought home those beautiful trophies from Fire Nation. But now we got to get to our Game of the Week recap edition brought to you by Dunn Chevy in Oregon. It's early in the show. Hit it, Cisco. We're taking you back to the D3 state championship over the weekend. A journey to remember, a game maybe not so much if you are a Springfield fan. A tough game against Dover, 10-0 run rule victory for the Tornadoes, mostly on the back of Jenna Molk, who had herself a day, the junior Ohio State commit. 2 home runs, 4 RBI, 4 runs. She was a force. But this Springfield team talked about after the game, the journey to get there, the sisterhood that they had built. And you've been a part of these playoff runs, and you know the connection that builds between these young ladies.
Absolutely. When the school year stops and it's just softball and you're with your teammates, that's when life is good. That's when you're cooking right along. And, you know, you never want to go out 10-0, but unfortunately, that's the way it shakes out sometimes. And as Justin said earlier, it's not don't look at it as a failure, because you learn, you build, and they're going to be in a great spot next year.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you lose 10-0, you know, and get run ruled in the state championship. In the state semifinals, they got to win 3-1 to advance to the title game. I know that the game was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. I think it didn't start until after 9 o'clock. Being that last game, you get backed up when games go long or trophy presentations last a little longer than expected. But when you have 3 hits, Coach Rob Gwad said it, you know, you're not going to win many games when you only have 3 hits. And it's somewhat surprising the fact that you have that lineup that has 4 players, maybe more, definitely 4 seniors who are going to go on and play college ball at various levels. But when you have first-team NLL Cardinal performers like Cameron Eckhart, 𝗦𝗫cie 𝗶𝗶𝗵𝘁𝗹𝘆, Cameron Hall, Kenya Crowley, Hannah Schlachter, Andrella Espino, all of them, and they only accumulate 3 total hits. So that was a little upsetting, I guess, if you're a Springfield fan, to be able to try to deliver a little bit more than that in the state championship game. But at this point, you were going to run into some difficult pitching at that level, and it's expected. And then when you compound that with Jenna Molk, the Ohio State commit, with 2 bombs, a double, 4 RBIs, 4 runs, you know, you add all those ingredients into the piece there, it's difficult to overcome that. And it was just a struggle for them in the title game, but doesn't take it away from the fact that they won an NLL title in Division III for the first time, winning a district, regional, and advancing to state.
When they talked about a lot of the teams talked about, this wasn't the year we were, you know, picked to be here, right? This was a lot of the situation where, you know, Clay was the favorite for the Buckeye or for the Cardinal division, and they came back. They were resilient. They got wins when they needed them. The walk-off grand slam from Hannah Schlachter, a moment that will live on, Coach Gwad said, in his entire history of coaching softball. And there's nothing to hang your head about. The game was what the game was, right? But the journey to get there and the performances to get there, they left runners on base. That is what it is. But you look back at these memories and they're things that are irreplaceable.
Absolutely. And to your point, you know, Gwads has had so many successful teams and so many incredible athletes. 𝗬𝗁cie 𝗀𝘆, just the first one that comes to mind. And they never made it that far, but this team did. And I think it speaks volumes about camaraderie and what you can do when you're friends.
Yeah, 4 trips to state championship, or 4 trips to state for Coach Rob 𝗏👫. They're 0-2 in title games, coming up a little bit short in there. And the teams that you're facing, it's hard to scout them because you haven't seen too much film on them. And then it's the quick turnaround if you're playing on a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, or some cases maybe a Thursday, Saturday. So you got people staying in hotels and in the field facilities. It's a lot of moving parts at the state tournament level. And you want to put your best foot forward, and you got to make the plays. And what I like about the state tournament, because there's so many good teams there, regardless of your 4 divisions or 7 divisions with the expansion with the OHSA this year, you definitely earn it. At that level, in that sport, you are earning every bit of that championship game. Nothing comes easily. And I guarantee if you talk to Dover's head coach, yes, they won 10-0, but I guarantee he would say nothing was easy about that outcome.
Absolutely. Shout out to Springfield softball and a tremendous season. Falls 1 win short of glory. We'll be right back after 30 seconds from Buffalo Wild Wings. Hit it, Cisco.
Buffalo Wild Wings, buy one, get one free. Boneless Thursdays saved me so much cash. I can finally do everything I've ever wanted in life, like skydiving. You ready? No, this was a mistake, a huge mistake. I want to go back. I want to go back. Go, go, go! Yeah, I'll probably just use the money I saved to get more buy one, get one free boneless wings at B-Dubs. No brainer. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
At participating locations, not valid with other offers or discounts. See website or app for details.
We're back from commercial, and we're going back to Akron. The Division II state semifinal. Let's wrap up the Anthony Wayne softball season. Again, not the way we wanted it to end here, especially in Northwest Ohio, and especially if you're an Anthony Wayne fan, but a heck of a send-off and another great performance from Molly Connor in this one. 12 strikeouts, 2 walks, gave up 17 hits, finishes the season with an 18-3 record. The Generals fall 5-4. Not a good year for them to take on teams called the Yellow Jackets is my final assessment of this.
Yeah, so I gave up 7 hits, not 17. Don't do that.
I said 7.
7. You said 17. All good. Don't want to mess with Molly Connor's statistics there. They had a 4-3 lead, Alyssa, in the 7th inning. You're 3 outs away. I mean, if you're a fan, if you're a coach, if you're a player on the field, player on the bench rooting on your teammates, you're like, oh, man, it's so close. But it just goes to show that it never, ever give up. Get all 21 outs somehow, some way, and play and sprint and get locked in all the way until that final out is made. And hats off to Mount Vernon in the D2 semis to get there. They came up short ultimately in the finals in the championship game. But AW goes 25-6. I mean, they're similar to Springfield as far as the classes of players or the seniors who graduated have been a part of teams that have gone on deep postseason runs all 4 years. Some of them been on varsity from an early age until senior year. You're nearing 80-plus wins over the course of 4 years in high school. I know that Springfield, I think, had
97 and 26 was that group at Springfield.
Okay, yeah, so just a ton of wins over that course of 4 years. AW's offense had 5 hits, took advantage of 2 Mount Vernon errors. So, they had that 4-3 lead, and it's not like they were hitting the cover off the ball. And Coach Ron Myers has taken an AW team to state 4 out of 5 years. 4 out of 5 years. It's worth repeating. And I looked at his stats just over the 12 years that he's been there. They're averaging 22 wins. We talk about the magical number at high school sports, 20 wins. And not just softball or baseball in the spring here, but for basketball, any other sport as well, you get to 20 wins. Hey, you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, we've had a pretty darn good season. And for them to average 22, I know in some years they were getting close or maybe even got to 30 wins. I think one year they remember 30-1 at one point. So Coach Ron Myers has done a great job with that Generals program.
Absolutely. And we were kind of talking about it before the pod. As an Anthony Wayne alum, it's tough to see them get so close year after year after year, not quite get there. But I don't know. I think their time will come. And shout out to Molly Connor for carrying them through this season. I mean, I didn't expect them to get this far. And that's coming from me. And I just couldn't be more proud of the entire lineup. There's a lot of young talent that's coming through the pipeline there. And I think the future is very bright.
Yeah, they only had 2 seniors. You know, obviously Molly Connor, the headliner there, future Notre Dame Fighting Irish player, who did it. You know, she's, I guess, maybe more known for what she does in the circle as a pitcher, but she is equally as talented with the bat.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that gets lost, you know, hitting in the 3 or 4 hole slot for Coach Myers. She does it both ways, and she's the reason why we'll have her in our first team All-BCSN here in just a little bit. But I think, like you mentioned, a lot of returning talent. I think Molly and one other senior. Is Megan Sumner, is she a senior? Do we know? I can't remember right here. But I think, want to say there was 2 seniors. Molly was definitely one of them, in the sense that there's a ton of talent coming up the ranks. I know Casey Joe Carter, a junior, had 2 hits in that state championship trip in the semifinals there. So you got some contributors who are getting that experience. And Alyssa, you know better than anybody else as a player, the experience that you gain when you go on these deep postseason runs. The other aspect that people might not remember is all the practices that you get. I know you're not hardcore because you've kind of gone through all the things in the months of February, March, April, May, but you're gaining that extra practice experience in between.
Reps, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gives one more shot we'll talk about later in the show at a generational run from this senior group at Anthony Wayne across all sports, right? Volleyball, state championship run, state runners up. Basketball, girls basketball, state runners up. Softball, state semifinals. Baseball's in the state semifinals. I talked to Elise Bender about it on Sunday when she'd gotten her Female Athlete of the Year award.
Yep.
And she just talked about the legacy that this senior group is going to leave behind across all sports in Anthony Wayne. So shout out to the Generals. Like I said multiple times the last couple weeks, good year to be a Generals fan. We'll keep that trend rolling because we got a clip of the week brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Do it, Cisco. It was a good week for walk-offs if you are Anthony Wayne. Here we go, the regional semifinals taking on Edgewood. Cole beating hard. Justin loves multi-sport athletes.
Yeah.
There's the sack fly. In the words of Greg Franke, unless it's the greatest throw of all time, this is an A-dub win, and it was. Oh, we'll go forward in time. This is not a replay. This is the regional final taking on Loveland. This time, Mason Jerwa pops one, short center field. Again, a play at the plate. Again, not in time. Boy, a good couple days to be an Anthony Wayne General, as it has been basically since August at this point. A walk-off to get yourself through the playoffs once is insane. Back-to-back, there's a fight and a resilience in this team that is going to serve them very well come this Friday.
Yeah, they've done it multiple times. Last year, they had a string of walk-off wins, and in these situations where in the previous clip, you have a runner on third, less than 2 outs, your job at home plate, get the ball into the outfield, find a way, whether that's, you know, doing a bunt from the coach calling some signals down at third base or lifting the ball into the outfield. And that's what they do. So they work on that in practice. You deliver it in the game. It's not something new for them. And then the line drive against Loveland for them to all-out sprint. That's what I like about the runner at second base there. All-out sprint, giving them the windmill there. Go for, go for, go for. Executing is what plays a role in this. And look at the bottom of the 11th inning. You're talking about using up a ton of pitchers in the postseason. You don't want to necessarily do that. You get regional final here, so you got some days off to get your pitchers ready to go for the next week. But still, hats off to A-Dub.
As the guy who runs our social medias, I can't tell you how many times in that Loveland game I typed and retyped posts congratulating Anthony Wayne win because they went 11 innings after already having a walk-off. The emotions are so high, and then you have to regather and come back for another game in the regional final. To go 11 games or 11 innings is wild, Alyssa.
Absolutely. And to go 11 innings and to not lose focus, to not
slip up a small play.
Exactly. And like you said earlier, just staying locked in because it's not over till it's over. In every play, every little dinker, whatever it is, it matters.
Every throw to first, right.
Absolutely. So
shout out Anthony Wayne.
Shout out A-Dub.
There you go. Alyssa's loving. She's playing a little favoritism today, but that's all right. We'll allow it. You want to see more clips like this, head over to our TikTok at BCSN Sports. We'll talk more about the Anthony Wayne baseball team later on, but now it is time for first team All-BCSN. You love it in the fall. You love it after basketball season. We're here to give it to you for the spring. Justin's up first. Justin, your first team All-BCSN list. Go for it.
Yeah, a bunch of names that you're going to know and love because we've been talking about them all season long. Let's take a look. So I got Haley Griggs, who's been fantastic. She is Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Ohio, NLL Player of the Year, FSU commit, tied the state record with 23 bombs, hit 656, 64 runs scored, 28 walks, 29 steals, 55 RBIs, and just played superb shortstop. Enough said for her. Congrats to her. 𝗦𝗫𝗀 𝗡𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗁 for Springfield has done a tremendous job for them. NLL Cardinal Division Player of the Year, likely first team All-State player, should be. Lord's University commit Parker Dart for Lake did a great job for them. NBC Offensive Player of the Year hit 549. You got Autumn Gugger at 𝗦𝗽cie. She was tremendous as well. First team All-NBC hit 476, leading 𝗦𝗽cie to 17 wins. You got Destiny Garza from Waite, who played a key role in them contending in the City League, arguably the best Toledo-based player within the City League, hit 544, 24 RBIs, and hit 15 steals. Molly Connor, we talked about her leading A-Dub to the state semifinals. Notre Dame commit, 10-plus strikeouts nearly every single game. First team All-NLL. She should be a first-team All-State pick, although we got limited selections from Northwest Ohio. That's ridiculous. Molly Connor is a bona fide first-team.
She's been robbed.
All-State.
We riot.
Leah Wofford from Northwood, dual threat as a pitcher and hitter, 2.40 ERA. Top player in the TAC, hit 609, 44 ribs. Aubrey Hensley, love her, up in Bedford country. She is a UT commit, crushed a homer in the tournament, leading Bedford to the district title and then to the regional finals where they came up short. But school records in career walks, RBIs, single season home run, and career home run. You got Addie Sprang from Findlay, did a job for them as a first team All-NLL catcher, hit 513, 36 RBIs. Ava Stevens at Whiteford, she was great as well, hit 489, 43 hits, 27 RBIs for Coach Matt Van Brandt. Peyton Shively did great for Notre Dame, all-Catholic CHSL team, hit 617 with 50 hits. You got Cameron Hall for Springfield. It's hard to pick all these Springfield players because they're borderline all equally awesome. First team All-NLL Cardinal shortstop, key member of the team that went to the state title game, hit 437. Olivia Haas from Clay, just a reliable source for production for Coach Raidaball there. Dual threat pitching and hitting, 3.03 ERA, hit 426. And then Brooke Bowers from St. Ursula, All-Catholic League, hit 667, 44 hits, 6 home runs, 30 RBIs for Coach Dominic Rinaldi. So ton of deserving players on my first team All-BCSN.
If you're listening on the audio medium, make sure you pull that graphic up because you'll see at the bottom, everybody with a little star next to their name are All-State honorees. So in that section, Haley Griggs, first team All-State. Addie Sprang, honorable mention, All-State in Division I. 𝗦𝗫𝗀 𝗡𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗁, first team All-State in Division III. Cam Hall, honorable mention. And then Division IV, Parker Dart, second team All-State for the Lake Flyers. That is Justin's first team All-BCSN list. Now we're moving to the guest, Alyssa and Sarah's first ever first team All-BCSN picks. You are up, Alyssa.
All righty. Thank you. All right. So right off the rip, Maddie Von Sacken, Perrysburg, an undefeated ace. Stormed through the season 21-0, regular season. Yep. I mean, that is no small task. The NLL is a ridiculous league. And I mean, up and down, look who you're facing. Incredible. Not only that, she had 115 strikeouts with a 2.31 ERA over 20 wins. Wow. On top of that, she's offensively solid. She, I think, had 28 hits this year with 17 RBIs. Excellent production in the circle. I mean, statistical dominance, undefeated season, clutch postseason. Can't say enough good things about her. Riley Rowe from 𝗦𝗍𝗀, nearly in the beginning of the year, flawless start. I think right off the rip, she had 52 strikeouts through 5 games early in the season.
Good grief.
That's pretty crazy to me. On top of that, she was named Division II, second team All-Ohio. She had 277 strikeouts with a 1.15 ERA in 176 innings. NBC Pitcher of the Year, dominated top-tier Northern Buckeye Conference. Again,
multiple
impressive.
all-time records at 𝗦𝗍𝗀 in her time there.
Yeah, she's pretty sweet. What are you going to do?
Pretty good.
Moving on, we got Cam Eckhart from Springfield. As you said, Justin, it was pretty tough to pick through Springfield kids. Can't say enough good things. But defensively, she was an absolute anchor. I mean, she has a gun behind the plate, and she is very exciting to watch. Steady bat all season. I mean, when she got a hold of it, she bombed it, and she was really, really fun to watch. Maddie Franke from Clay. She was an offensive standout. Behind the plate, she was very agile. Watching her play was really a good time. 60 at-bats, 28 runs, 30 hits, 5 stolen bases as of mid-May. And by the end of it, she was batting, I think, close to 500. Well done. On top of that, she's speedy. I love a speedy. Moving on, obviously, 𝗦𝗽elle Griggs. Had to get her on mine too,
Yep.
Justin.
Easy
Sorry
pick.
about that.
All good.
As you said, Gatorade Player of the Year, and just overall a great kid from a great family. Can't wish her any more good things. She's phenomenal, and she's going to do really great. 𝗦𝗫cie 𝗶𝘶𝘀, one of my big standouts that I've been talking
Yeah.
about all season.
Absolutely, no question.
All Buckeye outfielder. Absolutely vital to Perrysburg's offensive success. I mean, a true triple threat with the bunt, with the drag, with the power slap. She's got it all. Incredibly fun to watch. Ellis Schuberg from Central Catholic. She was versatile. I mean, 430 average, over 87 at-bats with 36 hits, 20 RBIs, and pitched. A very key two-way player. Ellie Haynes from Clay. Mid-May, she really hit her stride. 4.93 average, 36 RBIs through 67 at-bats. And, I mean, she's a run producer. Hannah Schlachter from Springfield. Not only is she a clutch outfielder, she has a bat. And, I mean, she was a huge catalyst for their postseason success. Incredibly fun to watch the whole season. Megan Sumner from Anthony Wayne. All Buckeye third base. I mean, she is absolutely able to play a hot corner. And fun to watch. I can't say, all these kids are incredible to watch and whatever. Hannah, I'm going to apologize.
Schmoller.
Yeah, Hannah Schmoller. She was an absolute slugging threat all season. Are you kidding me? She led the team in slugging, 8.815 with 9 home runs, 33 RBIs, and I think she tied her school record with 16 home runs. Well done. And moving on, again, I got Molly Connor. Hard to leave her off my list. Sorry, Justin, but dual threat. Co-ace pitcher, and as you said, she has an absolute bat. I can't wait to watch her at Notre Dame. I'll be curious to see if she is in their lineup offensively.
Me too.
And I really hope she is, because I think she's going to do great things for them. Zoe Jacobs from Southview, first-team Cardinal utility. She was a consistent contributor all season long. She played multiple positions, and she was able to boost Southview's competitive status through the season, and she's
Agreed.
exciting to watch again. And then Taylor Smith from Maumee. She was versatile across the diamond. Maumee standout. She had great discipline throughout the season, and she added a lot of depth to their lineup. So those are my picks.
All state selections across the board for both of you guys. Maddie Van Socken, 𝗦𝗽elle Griggs, Megan Sumner, Frankie Smith, and Rowe. All state selections across the board there. I got to wonder, though, if you think Cam Eckhart and Cam Hall's parents were planning the CAMRYN thing. They're both in the same class, both at Springfield. There's got to be, I've never seen it spelled like that outside of those two. I wonder if there was some, you guys let me know whether you're a Hall or an Eckhart family member. Give me a shout out. Let me know what the plan was there. We'll wrap things up after 30 seconds for Buffalo Wild Wings while I keep pondering name spellings. We'll be right back.
I've saved so much money enjoying Buffalo Wild Wings BOGO half-off traditional wing Tuesdays. I can finally afford everything I've ever wanted in life. Wings. All I ever wanted was more wings. So yeah, buy one, get one half-off traditional wings is the perfect deal for me and my lifetime yearnings. I value it more than literally anything. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
At participating locations, not valid with other offers or discounts. See website or app for details.
And we're back to wrap things up. Here we are, the 𝗦𝗽cie games list. Plenty going on. The Hens are back in town. Taking on Omaha. A loss last night, looking to bounce back at Fifth Third Field throughout the rest of the week. We've got Toledo Villa FC women's soccer in action on the NLL Network on the 11th. That's Wednesday tonight. Hens back in action on Thursday, back in action on Friday, and then, of course, Walsh Jesuit, Anthony Wayne, the boys' state Final Four at 1 p.m. The game will play. You can check it on demand on the BCSN Plus app after it has concluded. Perkins, the Erie side of things, also in action in the state Final Four, taking on Indian Hill. Same situation with that. And then on Saturday, Perrysburg and Springboro, 7 p.m. Same thing. Game finishes. You can check it out on demand. If Anthony Wayne wins, they will also be in action Saturday for a chance at a state title.
Yep, and Perrysburg, if they win on Saturday, they'll be playing on Sunday. That game would be at 4 o'clock. So in addition to all those that you see on the screen, shout out to Fairview as well and Elmwood Baseball, also advancing from the Northwest Ohio coverage area. But lots to look forward to. See if Anthony Wayne and or Perrysburg could advance and bring home a state title. That would be the second NLL title after Northview did it a few years ago.
There it is. That's a wrap on softball season. We want to thank Alyssa and Sarah for joining us all season long for her great
Nice work,
insight.
Thanks for
Justin
having me.
Feldkamp and myself. We'll be right back here to wrap up season 3 with baseball with Bruce next week. We'll see you then.